Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the EPF YouTube channel. We're live from St. Julian's, Malta for the 2026 European Open Classic Powerlifting Championships. Second day, second flight of the day. The A groups of the 57s and 74s. I'm still Alexander Down, that hasn't changed, and to my left is still Emilia Potter.
Good afternoon, and we had a pretty exciting B group, all things considered, potentially seeing some B group lifters push for individual medals. We'll have to see how the rest of the day pans out as we head into two exciting fights in the 57 and 74s.
We had 8 57s, 9 74s, and as you've mentioned, we probably have a strong contender for a bench gold medal in the 74s. So we're going to see some big benches out of the boys in the 74s, but we're going to start off with the 57s. Look at the squat openers ranging from 140 kilos to 175. So multiple squats above the biggest squat of the B group. Biggest squat being 160 from Acevedo from Portugal. Of course, the favorite from France, Sovan Palp, very much pushed by two lifters, one from the Netherlands, Danis Kaylee and the other one from GB, Adetayo Adejoke. These three women are going to put on a show. They are the favorite for podium, but if someone skips a bit in the hunt from Italy, is Alessandra Sacchi. Everything to play for, all 9 attempts lined up in front of us. We're in for a good one, Emilia.
Absolutely, and like you said, some big squatters in this fight coming up.
First lifter out, Satu Pilvas from Finland, 140 kilos. Somewhat of a pause squat at the bottom.
Yeah, and that created a little bit of a trickier stand up for her, but it is a good lift and she's on the board, and it looks like she's saying something to her coach as she comes off, so something did go slightly awry there.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if this is our typical squat technique. This surely is a case of squat nerve, just getting a feel for the platform and stuff. The lights getting in your eyes, looking for that chief referee. Could be all sorts of things. Next up from Slovenia, Katja Babic, 147.5.
Katja seems to get stronger every competition we see her at, 147.5 being 10 kilos below her squat personal best, so should this move well, I imagine we'll see her surpass that on maybe her second, definitely her third.
Yeah, I mean, she's been competing at internationals since 2017. That's a lot of experience right there. No troubles with the opener, of course. 3 white lights. I have a good feeling about the 57s. I've been to the warm-up room. The 57s feel very focused, but the 74s, the atmosphere was very electric. 2 different vibes for the 2 weight classes. Now Alessandra Sacchi, 152.5 for the Italian.
He weighed in at 57 kilos on the dot.
How does that look? Was that a tough cut or a well-managed, very optimized cut? It's rather option 2, I would say. Looking good. 3 white lights. But she's had to work a lot with her back with that narrow stance. But long femurs, usually narrow stances, are for short femur lifters.
It's interesting, when I was in the warm-up room, she was actually doing her warm-ups with a waist trainer sort of back support on, so maybe that's to protect her back moving into the heavy lifts. I'm not too sure, but never seen that before.
Yeah, that is interesting actually. Now to Caitlin Baxter from GB 160, one of the 2 representative of GB in the 57s.
Yeah, Caitlin represented Team GB in the juniors. I believe this is her first open showing on the international platform. 25 years old now.
Not the fastest, but still a reasonable opener. 3 white lights, a good lift. Just want to start off your day.
Yeah, and she seems pretty happy with it. 7.5 kilos below her best, so it's a very good place to start if she paces herself well.
Do you think she jumps straight to it?
It seems like a reasonable jump to make, 7.5 kilos. If you thought that was a little slow, maybe they would go for 5. It depends on the lifter particularly.
Now the representative of Spain, Ana Maria Guia Padilla, 165. Nominated 7th, forecasted 9. Of course, this is compared to the total of the B groups too. I'm pretty sure she can compete for a top 5, depending on what happens above her. Getting a good feel for the weight on her back. Nice and steady walk out. It's interesting to see how she opens up her rib cage as she goes down. To the 1, a good lift. Lack of depth, according to the right inside ref. How does that look on the replay? I think it might be just the elbow getting in the way of viewing depth, but it seems low enough.
Yeah, it seemed like a good position for her to be in there.
So now Kaylee Sue Dennis, reigning 63 European champion, dropped down to the 57. This is her first international in that weight class. She's opening at 172.5, had a difficult prep, tore back a few weeks ago, now is coming back.
And she's right up there, up and amongst it with the 57s in her first year.
I think she dropped down into the hole slightly, but she seems to be smiling. I think she knows that she did something a bit unusual. Now look at her walking off the platform. I think she's saying to her coach, like, yeah, I know what I did. My bad.
Yeah, and she's got a lot of experience. You can see her knee kind of case as she goes into the hole, which I think is what you're referring to. But, you know, her best squat as a 63, I believe, is 195, which is just 3 kilos off the 57 kilo world record.
Now the reigning 57 champion, so back-to-back reigning and not defending, unfortunately for Danish champions. Sylvain Pal from France, 172.5. She almost bombed out last year in Malaga. She only got 1 squat, her final squat. She missed the 2 first ones on what looked like strength. How does she look? She needs a hot start. I must admit that this is very fast for Sylvain. She has a scrappy squat. Everyone knows that by now. We've seen her multiple times. But this is comfortable. This is light. Everyone's on the board.
Yeah, and that's, like you said, an improvement from last year. She's got that first squat on the board, which would be a huge confidence boost for her.
And we need the final lifter on the board to have a good squat battle. Adejoke Adetayo, 175 for the representative of GB. Another massive squatter, PB squat of 189. There she is. All smiles as she walks up to the bar. A dark horse in the quest for the title, but not one to be overlooked.
No, not at all. Big hill to climb, but with a personal best of 189. Let's see what she can put up.
She seems to be on today, Amelia.
Yeah, absolutely, and she's got a good fight in her if she needs it, so a very comfortable opener for Adejoke.
Oh yeah, that looked like a warm-up. So interesting, when you look at the three favorites, Sovan, scrappy, as always. Adejoke, super comfortable. KD Su, technical issues. So 3 different types of squats, all shooting for squat gold. Next up, Satu Pilvas, Finland, 147.5, a jump of 7.5.
And 2-1, a good lift. Just getting a depth view from that right side referee, where we'll be able to catch that from that angle in the replay here. So that's her left hip.
By the looks of it, she's not at risk of a jury intervention. They seem to be satisfied with the lifts. So we move on to Katja Babic, 155, jump of 7.5. A very popular one in the flight. Still comfortable, but much more segmented than our opener.
Yeah, it puts her in a good position to pace for a personal best on that third round.
Bars already loaded for our next lifter, Alessandra Sacchi, Italy, 160 kilos. Once again, jump of 7.5, just shy of her PB of 162.5.
So if it was a bad cut, so far it's not being reflected in her performance. We'll see how this second attempt goes and if we keep that opinion.
We've seen a few lifters waiting in on the dot and performing well. I'm thinking about Ines Serbo, won the title in the 47s, for example. That same exact squat, much more of a sticking point. There's going to be 3 white lights, but even adding 2.5 onto that is going to be a tough ask.
I'd be interested to see what they do, whether they'd risk for that 5 kilo jump for personal best, they're not shooting for podium, or whether they look to match it with that 2.5 kilo increase.
The thing is, if she wants to make a push for podium, she's going to need each and every kg she can. I'd rather take 2.5 than miss 5. Easy math. Caitlin Baxter, GB, 165, jump of 5.
And arguably moved a little bit better than her opener. Very smooth, got those nerves out.
Back to the 1, a good lift. I think going for 5 here was the sensible decision. She needed that momentum boost, but immediately overruled by the jury for lack of depth.
It's surprising they hadn't had the replay yet before they overruled it. So they were going based off of what they saw live, which definitely will impact how they move now into their third.
Yeah, I think you can only opt for a retake in that case. Otherwise, you're going to lose out on too much. Ana Maria, 175, jump of 10. PB of 5 at stake. Team Spain being aggressive with it. Once again, getting a good feel for the weight. Her typical setup. Once again, let's see how she braces and then opens up her ribcage. Right about here. Maybe this is how she fills out the belt and really utilize it. It works. 3 white lights, a good lift.
Next up from Kingston, Dennis from Netherlands. Barcelona for Kingston.
Now Katie Sudanis from 172.5, which was a bit iffy, to 180. There's a strong chance that this one's going to look better.
Yeah, especially if she knows exactly what happened there on her opener. She experienced enough to come in and correct that.
100%. She's a champion. She has the heart of a lion. In control. It looks better at the bottom. It's much more of a fight on the way up, but to be expected with more weight.
Yeah, and obviously to stay cognizant of the fact, like you said, that she did get a back injury just not so long ago, a few weeks ago, and to come in and really get close to your top end at a lighter body weight post-injury is so incredibly impressive.
Yeah, she's coming in with no expectations, just trying to be stress-free and perform to the best of her abilities on the day. So far, she's doing pretty good. 180 as a 57, second attempt, that's super solid. And talking about super solid, Adejoki Adetaya, 182.5, jump of 7.5 on an opener that looked very easy. Three white light once again. She's so delicate with the bar. It's 180 kilos. How does that happen?
Yeah, and she's so patient with it as well. There's really no sort of breakdown yet. We know that she has a pretty good grind in her if she needs it. So I'd be interested to see where they go there, whether they jump for 187 or 190.
I'm hoping for 190. I want to see 190, but do you play conservative, especially with Danis struggling a bit? You don't want to be the one that risks it. Now setting up under the bar, Sovan Pal, reigning and defending champion in the 57s. Jump of 10.
Heavy into the hole there, but manages to stand it up. Now, was that a little off for her normal squat, or does that seem about right?
Completely normal.
Okay.
Completely normal. I'm not sure if they're going to go for 190, but I wouldn't be surprised if they load 187.5. Typical Sovan squat. Not that much of a grind, to be honest. She's not shifting, she's not twisting, she's only struggling. When she's really struggling, she's shifting. So as of right now, she's leading the charge. She's matched Adejoki's best attempt, but she's lighter on body weight. Provisional bronze to Katie Sudanis. We'll see how things checks up, because we have massive third attempts lined up for us. Third round of squats starting now. Before we move straight into the 74s, Satu Pilvas, first one out for Finland, 150, jump of 2.5.
bit of a scrap there. And she got a depth call from her first. Yeah, and I was a little worried. There's a smidgen higher than her first and her second. You can see here she gets red for depth in the center and right-hand side referee. And I think, yeah, just higher than her last couple.
Yeah, that replay is not going to do her justice, unfortunately.
Third attempt. The bar is loaded for Katja from Slovenia. Let's go.
Now, strong of 11 years of competitive experience, Katja Babic, Slovenia, going for 160, a new personal best of 2.5. We'd love to see that after 11 years on the platform. We've seen lifters struggling, stalling, hitting plateaus after 4 or 5 years of training. That's not her case. Can she stand up with it? Oh, she stops on the way up. No lift, unfortunately, but ever so close to that personal best. To be honest, it doesn't look like a technical issue. It's just strength on the day. There was a chance, they took it. Didn't happen. Now looking to beat her nominated squad, Alessandra Sacchi, Italy, 165 PB attempt of 2.5.
Yeah, I think you're asking and wondering what jump they would sort of make here, 2.5 or 5 kilos. And that answers this. But how would that pan out? It's a different question altogether.
We've known Italians to be aggressive and grinders, so surely that's doable.
It's a huge fight, but just too much for Alessandra today. And she gets really folded over halfway through that squat, and it's a pretty tough position to get out of. The only athlete that comes to mind that can do that really is Joy Namani in the 57s.
But you know what? There was a strong chance, especially with the way she manages to maintain that bar positioning, pushing her elbows forward without pushing the bar. It was a believable attempt. Now, Caitlin Baxter, GB, she missed out on 165 overruled for depth. She's adding 2.5 just to go low, to go lower. She needs to sink that squat. She seems strong enough, so she's going for that match PB.
Yeah, I imagine perhaps the plan was 170. Maybe it was 167.5, but the strength seems there for Caitlin. And she manages to stand it up. It's very strong, and it looked a little deeper to me.
Yes, it did indeed. 3 white lights, match PB. She bounced it out of joy.
Match PB in her first showing as an open international lifter, and gave no opportunity for the jury to overturn it that time.
Yeah, and just fresh out the juniors, it's a whole different ball game. Look at those ladies. Arijoke, Sovan, Kaylee Sue. Those are some names to compete with. 4 more squats to go before we jump in the 74s. Ana Maria, 180. She was nominated with 170. If she can improve by 10 kilos just on her squat, how does that look? Told you she was nominated 7th, but I told you she could compete for top 5.
Absolutely, and if she gets this for the time being, she'll move into squat bronze, as she is lighter than Denise to follow.
It's getting interesting.
Wow, that is a very smooth looking third attempt from Ana Maria.
2-1, a good lift. I'm pretty sure that yellow is for the elbows against the thighs. You're allowed to touch,
Yeah.
You're not allowed to support, but it's so difficult to judge what is touching, what is supporting. I think she's only touching.
Yeah, she goes so quickly, it's hard to think that her elbows would have really any impact.
Now, Katie Sue Danis to try and regain that bronze medal in the squat event. A jump of 2.5, one that could be very important for her position on the podium. We're pretty sure she's going to be on it, but the color of the medal is very much undecided.
Yeah. Oh, and even quicker than her second. I think she's just trying to figure. Just too high, unfortunately. We'll have a look at that again in the replay. I think there's a definite hesitance that comes with a post-injury competition.
It did look different from
Yeah.
far. The referees picked it up live. 2-1, no lift.
The silver lining, of course, is it's 2.5 that she misses out on. You know, the grey cloud is there's 2.5 that she missed out on.
Yeah, and maybe just by cutting depth a bit, her back is not getting worse for deadlifts later on. 2 more squats to go. One is 187.5, match PB in competition for Sylvain Pal. And one is 190 for Adejoke Adetayo. 2 very impressive squat and 2 very important ones. It's gonna be scrappy, it's gonna be tough, but she has to stand up with it. Show us a fight. She stalls at the bottom.
Yeah, the brakes seem to come on pretty hard there for Pal.
I think she tilted forward just a bit too much, but 182.5 is not a bad squat to keep on going in the competition with.
Not at all, and it works in the favour of Kaylee Sue and the Team Netherlands. And if Adetayo and Team GB get this next squad in, it's a lot closer than, you know, perhaps Team France would have wanted it to be.
Oh yeah, too close for comfort, that's for sure. And one final impressive attempt, 190. PB of 1 at stake here for Adejoke Adetayo. And a squat gold, because as of right now, it is a Sylvain Pal in squat gold, being lighter on body weight. Technique, mastery, and impressive display of strength needed for 190.
Oh my goodness.
Wow, that's not even top end.
And it is a good lift, 3 white lights, just 8 kilos off the world record, and it was as smooth as some of the other athletes' second attempts.
I mean, she had 195.
That is a beautiful final attempt, and what a way to cap off the squats for the 57s.
Does that make her the favorite for the title of the squat events? Who knows?
A long day ahead, but it certainly puts her in a strong position moving forwards. Now they're all a little bit closer.
So a quick recap of the squat podium. 3rd, Spain. 2nd, France. 1st, GB.
And we move straight into the 74 kilo men now. Kicking us off, we have Igor Paunovic from Serbia with 210 kilos. And we have quite the battle on our hands, with the top 3 on prognosis separated by only 2.5 kilos. 4th, 5 kilos behind.
Yeah.
3rd there.
Christos from Cyprus, favorite, nominated 1st. Giacomo 2nd. Sam 3rd. And Adel 4th.
Very comfortable opener there for Igor. And a good lift.
For a 250 kilo offer, horizontal.
Adel Al-Lankawi from Switzerland, 215 kilos. One of the top contenders. Coming out early on in the squats, but really impressive in both bench and deadlift, with the biggest joint deadlift opener in the weight category. Gives him a great opportunity to put on the bar what he needs. And that is a good lift, 3 white lights.
He's gonna need every kilo he can get, being the outsider, but he's probably gonna have the final say with the strong pull he has on him. Collecting kilos is the game for him. He needs to build a chunky subtotal.
The bar is loaded for Brandon.
Brandon Patterson from Ireland, 220 kilos, opening 5 kilos below his best. Starting to see a bigger Irish team come through as the week has begun now, with 2 Irish lifters in this A group.
And a new generation of lifters out of Ireland as a whole too. First generation has paved the way. Now the new generation has come in. Looking good.
And it is a good lift, 3 white lights.
Next lifter also from Ireland, Darren Maloney, 210 kilos as well.
And his teammate now, Darren Maloney, with the same weight on the bar, 220 kilos. Matched with the Swift athlete, Al Lankawai, with the biggest deadlift opener of the day. So definitely going to be fighting for a deadlift medal here today.
We do love a good deadlift battle.
Wow, that is a deep squat. 3 white lights, a good lift, very comfortable. Let's have a look at that again in the replay. I would struggle if I saw a red light there.
I mean, basically, if he's going to go down, he's going to make it count. He wants to leave no room for doubts, and he does just that.
He left no room for doubts for him or the next lifter.
You want depth? Just let's make it double. Pass it to the next person.
Yeah, double it and pass it to the next person. Laszlo Pota now from Hungary, 230 kilos.
Nice and controlled.
And a good lift, 3 white lights.
We've mentioned the fact that the top of the class is very tight, but the middle of the pack too. 5 kgs could be third position in the final placings.
Pelayo Roses Iglesias from Spain, 240 kilos. 10 kilos below his best squat, only 20 years old. The youngest in the flight.
Weight, not an issue. 2 to 1, a good lift. 1 red for depth. And a red from the side we're going to see here on the replay, which could be troublesome for him.
I can certainly see where that red card came from.
They're still discussing it in the jury.
But it looks like it will stand for the time being, which I think is a close getaway for him. He won't want to go any higher. I'd certainly suggest maybe even a little lower in a second.
Might have used the joker.
Giacomo Giamori now from Italy, 250 kilos.
Three white lights for the nominated the second behind Christos, but as of right now, forecasted third. Because yes, the nominated fourth is forecasted first. We mentioned it's super close at the top of the class. Who's progressed more? Who's going to be able to perform to the best of their abilities?
And 2 lifters remaining, both podium contenders. She said Giamori a big favourite there. Right at the top as well. Sam Dew from Great Britain, 252.5. tidy looking opener.
Yeah, relatively solid. 3 white lights. He's nominated 3rd. As of right now, he's forecasted 4th, but I'm not sure I'm buying that deadlift opener they put in.
Well,
247.5 seems pretty low.
And prognosis will jump around once we see his second attempt go in, and I'm sure that will change his placement as well. But definitely going to be a few names in the hat for that overall.
Yeah, but I think Team GB is playing the game with a fake opener here. Because his PB deadlift is 270. You don't really open at 247.5 to reach the 270s.
Well, depends the jumps, I suppose.
Yeah.
Our final opening attempt, Christos Konstantinou from Cyprus, 257.5 on the bar. And again, another lifter up there. His name in the hat. Prognosis currently 4th. That'll change, but nominations in 1st.
It's going to be 3 white lights. And this is why we want to see everyone on the board at the end of the first round of squats.
Round 2. Igor Powerlifting from Serbia is next. 10 kilo jump up to 220.
Is that the first long leg singlet we've seen since the beginning of the championship?
I think so, yeah. Newer piece of kit.
It's beginning to be the new meta. We've seen more and more lifters with it.
All 974s on the board with their opening attempt as we move through to the second round of squats. Already the medals have been picked up from the A group with their opening attempts. 220 now on the bar for Igor Pavlovic from Serbia.
Much more of a fight, of course, with 3 white lights, and I'd say there's wiggle room for a 3rd.
Bars loaded now for Darren Maloney from Ireland with a pretty conservative jump here of 7.5 kilos. The average personal best down as 240.
I mean, when you're going that low, 2.5 is a lot more in terms of range of motion.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think important to remember how deep he does squat, and it's a lot more taxing.
Yeah, I mean, when others run 100 meters, he earns 120, 130 maybe. That's a very long range of motion, but 3 white lights once again. And why not repeat that same jump?
And it's good coaching from Team Ireland because his opener was super quick, but like you said, you have to take into account how much that is going to tax the lifter.
The bar is loaded for Ireland.
Brandon Patson from Ireland now, 230 kilos, a 10 kilo jump, and this will be for a 5 kilo personal best.
Let's go.
Looks very calm coming onto the platform. Let's see if that's reflected in his execution. Certainly slowed down there, but kept his form and position really nicely. And it is a good lift. 3 white lights for Brandon.
230 kilos for his second attempt. The bar is loaded for Adele.
Adele Alankrai now from Switzerland, taking a 15 kilo jump to 230. Very sizable jump and putting him right up there in the mix for the overall title.
He's been progressing a lot. He missed 225 at Worlds in Chemnitz, where he finished 9th. He's now attempting 230 kilos as a second attempt.
Yeah, not only that, looking to fight for first at the European Championships
100%.
just a few months later.
Three white lights, a good lift, where we're starting to see the issue that caused him the lift in Chemnitz, those knees caving in. He resisted them caving more, but we're going to be paying close attention to that when the third round comes in.
Laszlo Potter from Hungary, 242.5 kilos, 12.5 kilo jump from his opening attempt, 8 kilos off its personal best. It is not a decimal of 2.5, which means it is likely to be a Hungarian national record. Right through it. I want to wait for the lights there. And it is a good lift. 3 white lights, very compact squatter.
Yeah, and from afar it did look very optimized, and also the bar did look a bit weird, somewhat of a parenthesis on the way up.
Yeah, I think his hips seemed to shoot back a little bit on the way up, which definitely did not help with how that would have felt. Pelayo Rosas Iglesias from Spain, taking a 12.5 kilo jump to 252.5. For the time being, this will put him onto the squat medal podium with Ju, Giamori and Constantinu to follow in the second round.
To receive the squat command, but apparently used that minute well. Oh, and missed in terms of standards. One blue and one red.
The red would have been for depth, which we can see from this angle, and we have a look here at the blue. I can definitely see it's on the line, which may not be enough for the jury to want to overturn it.
We mentioned that he used his first joker last time around. This one was a bit higher up. No bueno.
Now, Sam Dew from Great Britain, as he is now 40 years old, is eligible to take M1 records. 265 kilos, the current record standing at 263.5. He is looking far beyond this, but a pretty nice trinket to take on the way.
European M1 record and already a medal guaranteed in the squat events.
Tidy looking squat, a little bit harder work down there at the bottom, but pops off at the top, and it is a new M1 European squat record. A penultimate second attempt coming up now.
Pushing for the World Masters 1 record might be a bit of a push. I just checked, it's 277.5.
Maybe not today, but like we said, I think he's got bigger things in his horizon that he's searching for.
100%.
Giacomo Giamore from Italy, 265, a 15 kilo jump to move him into squat gold for the time being, with Constantinu to follow heading into the third round.
Still looking strong. 3 white lights, a good lift from Italy.
And the last lifter in round 2 is Cyprus Christos Konstantino, the bar is loaded, and we have 270 kilos on the bar.
Now Christos Konstantinou from Cyprus, 270, a 12.5 kilo jump to move him back into that squat Gotwood position. And it is ever so close at the top now. Every kilo counts. He not only wants to get this, he wants it to be convincing as well. Convincing enough that he can add a good amount of kilos into that third round.
If everyone scores, he's going to need 277.5 if he wants the gold medal in the squad event. So 270 needs to be convincing.
And it looks pretty convincing to me.
Yeah, 100%. 3 white lights. I would give this one 277.5 worthy. I'm not sure it's enough to load 285.5, the European record belonging to France's own Balthazar Bertrand, but I firmly believe 277.5 is doable.
And that ends the second round. Leading, we have Konstantinou with 270, followed by Jamori on bodyweight ahead of Sam Dew, who weighed in at 74 kilos on the dot, which I believe is the third competition in a row he has done so for. Igor Paunovic from Serbia, 227.5 for his final squat to match his personal best.
Can he stand up? No, too heavy on the day. The bar rose a bit. Unable to express strength into the bar. Noted.
And for the first lift we've seen, really missed on strength in this flight in the men's. Darren Maloney from Ireland, 232.5 on the bar, a 5 kilo jump from his second attempt. Shy of his personal best of 240, but like we said, his squat style is pretty taxing, so 5 kilo jump I think probably is the top end. I would have moved him up to maybe even utilising that 2.5. No, that is the perfect number. He seemed to control it a lot better this time round.
3 white lights, it's our RPE 9.5. Good number to save some gas for deadlifts, which is his strong suit. Collecting as many kilos as possible in the squat. Very solid squat event and well-rounded game plan.
237.5 kilos for a new personal best. Bars no left. Let's go, Brandon.
Brandon Patterson, also from Ireland, here with 237.5 kilos. This would be a 7.5 kilo personal best should he make this. Right there from Patterson, wow, and he seemed to stop completely still in the hole before getting it moving again.
No, we just wanted our partners at Total Focus to grab a good picture of him as he squats. Fair. Would have done the same if I could. And the crowd seemed to have loved that grind. A big part of the crowd is Irish as of right now.
And they'll let you know that they're there.
Yeah, they'll always bring the energy.
It is St. Paddy's Day tomorrow as well, so I expect he had the energy to be big tomorrow too. Adele Lankoui from Switzerland, 237.5 kilos, 7.5 kilo jump for a match personal best.
Yeah, one is it at the Open Swiss Nationals in October.
Like we said, one of those few athletes that really every kilo is pivotal if they want to remain in the race for the podium.
He's looking to improve his squats by 15 from one international comp to the other. Massive improvements.
and the weight didn't offer too much resistance. Let's wait for the lights. And 2-1, a good lift. My hesitance came slightly from the same side as he got that red from, but the center and far side referee are happy with it, then he's in a good spot.
Yeah, what are you seeing here?
I just seem to think it was, from a live action, a little bit high, but jury are still debating it.
Yeah, conflict of opinions inside the jury. They'll need to be unanimous, so I'm thinking that the lift will stand.
Yeah, there we go.
Some strong progress made. And the Swiss bringing the energy too.
Laszlo Potanau, 250 kilos for Hungary, half a kilo below his personal best. Okay, that is a good lift. 3 white lights. Let's have a look at that again in the replay. Strong end to the day for Laszlo.
The bar is loaded. 250 kilos.
Leo Roses Iglesias from Spain, 255. Didn't quite get that 252.5. Got a red and a blue, I believe.
Yep.
He's chosen to go up anyway, just 2.5 kilos to pick up an extra few. If he gets it, 15 kilos added onto his total. If he doesn't, he's landed with the 240.
A lot to win, a lot to lose. Vamos, Pelado sigue. He stands up with it. How about death? 3 white lights, a good lift. His total is saved. Because losing out on that amount of kilos really hurts your total and your final placing.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's not what we'd want to see, especially when, you know, he could land in a top 5 position.
The bar is loaded for Sam.
And 3 squats remaining. Sam Ju from Great Britain looking to further extend that European M1 record, and this is just 5 kilos off of the current world M1 record.
Yeah, it really mitigates that gap. It's a super solid 272.5 as a Masters 1. Much respect.
Absolutely, and of course 7.5 kilos on top of that would be incremental in adding that total. Little by little, fighting for the top here. Oh, a huge fight from Dewey. Nods as he stands it up, and it is a good lift. Absolutely pivotal.
Squats out, guns out, and talk about finding the right number too.
And this is what we want to see. Incremental progress, little by little, adding to your total. And it's often those lifters who can go 9 for 9 that sneak up in there, but he's a threat from the get-go. And as is Giacomo Jamori. This would put him in a really strong position moving forward in the competition. 275 kilos. 10 kilo jump, 2.5 kilo personal best. If he gets this, like I said, really strong position, and if he misses, opens the door. It's a big miss, 10 kilos.
Yeah, pivotal attempt for his day. He's taking a lot of risk. But sometimes you have to, especially in such a tight class. Is he good for it? Oh, yes, he is.
3 white lights, a good lift, and that was certainly the number on the day.
I mean, when you want to be champion, you have to pull off that kind of move. Nicely done, new personal best. One strong final squat.
277.5 kilos for a personal best attempt and a squat goal.
Christos Constantinou now from Cyprus, the final squatter of this fight, 277.5, 7.5 kilo jump. If he gets this, he's neck and neck with our Lankawai going into bench on prognosis. And if he misses, he falls down just 2.5 kilos ahead of Dew. Very important kilos. Oh, and a beautifully executed third attempt for Christos. 3 white lights, a good lift, and stays right up there at the top.
We're going to take a 2-minute break before we come back for the bench press.
And that concludes the squats in this prime time flight of 57s and 74s. In squat bronze, Sam Dew from Great Britain with 272.5 and a new European M1 squat record. In silver with 275 from Italy, Giacomo Jamori. And in gold medal position in squats from Cyprus with 277.5, Christos Konstantinou. We're going to head into a 10-minute break now before the bench press. We'll see you there.
We are back live from the best seats in the house in St. Julian's, Malta for the 2026 Europeans Open Classic Powerlifting Championship presented by Maniac Fitness. We're still in the 57s and 74s, both A groups. We've witnessed some massive squat. I'm especially talking about Adejoke Adetayo making easy work of a 190, collecting a squat gold. Now moving on to the bench presses, openers ranging from 80 to 107.5. That's quite a range of openers, 27.5 in the 57s.
Yeah, absolutely. A huge range there, and already some in the 100 kilos. I mean, the lightest being 80 kilos is already impressive.
Now, one thing we don't see often is the last one out for squats being the first one out for bench. Adejoke Adetayo opening with 80 kilos.
Yeah, one of the biggest deadlifters of the flight as well.
She makes easy work of 80 kilos of 3 white lights. One thing to note is that no one has changed the opener. They feel confident with what they put in at first. Next up for that same opening attempt, 80 kilos, is Alessandra Sacchi, Italy.
Opening 5 kilos below her best here.
She squatted 160, missed her final squat at 165. And 3 white lights, a good lift.
Next up, Ana Maria Aguina Padilla from Spain. Boris loaded, 80 kilos for her opener.
Ana Maria, 80 kilos. Fresh off a 10 kg squat PB, 180. Keep in mind, she was nominated 7th. She's forecasted 4th. She's the one to follow. And she's opening 2.5 below her PB bench.
Very tidy.
3 white lights. Is it tidy enough for her to go straight to 85? Or are we looking at a 2.5?
The thing is as well, you know, she's got a pretty sizable deadlift on her. The gap between herself and Adetayo at the moment is pretty sizable, 20, 25 kilos. Do you think that's too big to gap if she has a good day?
I'm not sure, and everything's subject to change. Deadlift openers could be changing, so playing the long run, especially in her case, is the way to go, I think. Katja Babic, Slovenia, 82.5.
Very, very comfortable for Katja, and getting pretty familiar in opening near her maxes. She does get a depth call from the center referee if we have a look at that here. We've seen a few depth calls today.
So this is referring to elbow depth. What's elbow depth for those not so familiar with powerlifting, Amelia?
So it's a relatively new rule. We're looking for the elbow to be in line with the midpoint of the shoulder joint. And you know, we see the line sometimes be where the elbow is too high versus are they set up wonkily, and you know, it can get lost in translation sometimes, but as long as the reffing is consistent, that's what we're looking for.
And the jury didn't seem to think it was egregious, so the lift will stand. We move into Sato's opener, 90 kilos after squatting 147.5. Pretty comfortable opener, 3 white lights. We're moving quick. 3 more openers to go. 95 and 2 at 107.5. 95 for Sylvain Pal from France. She has a tendency to consider that bench is the break between squat and deadlifts. It's been troublesome for her in the past. How does that look today?
Well, she's up and amongst it, third to last out for bench press. If that is her kicking her feet back and relaxing, then when she starts to focus in on it, I think we're all in danger.
She slips a bit, but it's still pretty fast. 3 white lights, a good lift. But with you slipping on the bench, you can run out of gas very quick. I'm still expecting a 5, to be honest. But more would be very dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely. I think 5 seems completely justifiable there.
Katie Soudanis, Netherlands, 107.5 after going 2 for 3 in the squat event, only losing out on 2.5. Yeah, that's solid. 3 white lights, and you know what? That was her personal best as a 57. Her PB bench overall was 116.7.5. But this is our PB as a 57, so it's only up from there.
Yeah, and she seems like already a big threat for the 57 kilo weight class.
107.5 kilos. That's all.
Caitlin Baxter, same opening attempt, 107.5. Managed a solid 167.5 as our final squat attempt. Relatively solid too. It's going to be 3 white lights, a good lift. Nominated bench press, 115. Judging by that opener, that could be our top end today too.
Coming out for an 85 kilo attempt, the bar open. Let's go.
Yeah, it's certainly not the slowest we've seen, but I think the first round for everybody is adjusting to the bench, adjusting to the pad, and seeing where they're at and having to gauge it from there on out.
Yeah, but based on opener, I would say Kaylee Soudanis looks to have more room on her bench. Who knows? It's going to end up being a question of attempt selection and maybe a technicality. Adejoke Adetayo, 85, jump of 5. Solid second to the 1. Yellow from the left hand side ref.
Let's have a look at that from the side angle. Yellow usually on bench. It can be a plethora of things, but indicates a lift of sorts. And
Oh, I think
certainly a little floaty. Was contact maintained? Jury, yeah, have overruled that, unfortunately, for Adejoke, which definitely spells trouble.
yeah, that's very costly for her in the quest for possibly the title or silver medal overall. Same second attempt, 85 for Alessandra Sacchi, Italy. Three white lights for her. No yellows, not subjected to intervention. She's fine with it.
The bar is loaded.
Another lifter following the same game plan from 80 to 85 is Ana Maria from Spain. But for her, that would be a personal best of 2.5. She keeps on improving, Emilia.
Yeah, like we said, just wants to be chipping away at that and see how close you can get to the podium. 5th and 6th close behind her, so wants to keep position, I think, overall as well as you can. for a little bit of trouble there, though. Very segmented, and I'm worried we might see some blues.
Probably. Yeah, all three blues.
So the blue light there that we can see would have been for downwards movement. The bar can stop and go up unevenly, but when the bar dips, that will give a blue light.
Yeah, those two wrists are not working together. So one's pushing forwards and rolling, the other one is flexed and pushing backwards. That's not gonna work. Katja Babic, jump of 5 from 82.5 to 87.5, matched PB in the making. She missed out on her PB squats, so she's looking to match her PB in the bench and move on from there.
Stop. Press.
2-1 in a good look. And once again, a red from our chief ref. Last time it was the left elbow.
Yeah, the jury didn't get involved last time round. They are discussing it, and it looks like it has been overturned by the jury to a no lift for Babic.
Yeah, the right's fine, but I would tend to think that the left elbow was a bit high. Difficult to judge. .95 for Satu Pilves, Finland. Jump of 5.
I've got to say, a lot of missed lifts on the second round here in the A group.
Yep, pretty surprising. Hopefully a different outcome for Satus, because she's 2.5 in personal best territory.
Stop. Press.
Nothing's wrong with that attempt. 3 white lights, new personal best, and a successful second attempt. Now the milestone of 100 kilos for Sylvain Pal, France. Jump of 5.
You're just 2.5 below her personal best, and I think you suspected this 5 kilo jump probably should still be okay. See how it moves here in a second.
Yeah, 102 is our PB in competition. She just managed that at French Nationals. Hitting 100 here is very important and already super good for her.
Stop. Press.
Still looks pretty solid to me.
3 white lights, a good lift. 100 is secured. I think 102.5 is the only way to go. And once again, a bit slipping on the bench. Being pretty aggressive with the leg drive, maybe.
Bars loaded, 112.5 kilos.
2 more second attempts. Kaylee Sue Dennis and Caitlin Baxter. Kaylee Sue 112.5, Caitlin 115.
Seems like Caitlin then does feel a little bit more confident than perhaps you might have thought after that opener.
Yep. Well, I'd love to be proven wrong.
Stop. Press.
A little shaky on the way down, but pretty consistent on the way up as well.
And 3 white lights, new personal best at that body weight.
And that's the thing, it is a personal best. You know, she's considerably lighter. She's competing 6 kilos lighter, and that really is a different ball game altogether.
So she lost less kilos on her bench than on body weight.
There we go.
That's a win for me. Now 150 for Caitlin Baxter, jump of 7.5. I want to wait and see this one, because 7.5 as a 57, that does not happen often.
This is the bench press she was also nominated with here, 115. Let's see how this moves.
Press.
And it is
No lift, unfortunately.
I'm looking at the lifter, trying to see if she knows what's wrong, if she knows what's correct, but she's just shaking her head. I'm not saying she's in disbelief, but
5 kilos.
her form doesn't seem to break down. The thing is with bench, it is the one of the 3 lifts that you can make a slight change, and you know it can make a huge difference. And I'm hoping that is the case. But like you said, we'll have to wait and see.
So as of right now, she's still in the podium, but in the lead is Katie Soudanis with 112. Caitlin in second with 107.5, and in bronze, Sylvain Pal from France with 100. Ale Jockey Adetayo retaking 85 after a miss for glute lifting off the bench.
Manages to get it again this time round. Let's hope the glutes have stayed on the bench, and it looks like they have.
Yeah, 3 white lights, undeniable attempt, which is good. She needed those 5 kilos.
And it is the trouble with using leg drives that sometimes you can't really even feel the glutes on the bench, and it becomes a little bit of guesswork if you can't.
Yeah, that's not the body part you're trying to be conscious of while you're bench pressing.
It's a lot to think about.
Ana Maria 85, also a retake. But more so a question of technique.
Yeah, she's got blues all across the board for her second attempt.
She stalls on the way up. Once again, those wrists not working together. She needs to keep her hand in the game. She's been doing good. She's improved her squat by 10. She can't match her PB deadlift nor break it, or PB bench nor break it, but that's fine. Still 30 more attempts to go. She's looking good. She's beating her nominations. Gotta keep your hand in the game. 87.5, jump with 2.5 for Alessandra Sacchi, Italy. Forecasted 6 as we speak. She was nominated 4th. Some ground to cover. A PB bench would come in handy right now for Alessandra and Team Italy. Strong leg drive. Did the glutes stay planted? Yes, 3 white lights. 3 for 3. And a new PB bench. We have another retake. Katia Babic, Slovenia. 87.5. She looked good for it, but her left elbow was too high up, according to our chief ref and all 3 members of the jury. Can she make the adjustment to score a matched personal best?
And 2-1, a good lift. She still gets that red, so she looks a little tentative walking off the platform. And the coach begins to move over. Jury are discussing it.
I don't know if that looks better than her second.
And it looks like it will stay. It doesn't seem like they're in complete agreement.
Good for her. We move on to Satu Pilvas, Finland. Ever so close to 100, but 97.5 is already a PB attempt. Feet up in the air. Keep in mind that the rulebook states that you're not allowed to touch the rack nor the bench with your feet while you're setting up. Otherwise, you're going to be asked to stand up again, leave the platform, come back and set up once more. That personal best is just not in the cards for her today. No lift. Looks like the podium is decided, but not the order in between the first and second. Sylvain Pal from France will walk away with bench press bronze, but is it going to be with 100 or 102.5? This is the deciding attempt.
Also, although there's a pretty good gap between them now, 5 kilos, if she doesn't get this, it turns into 2.5 if Denise gets hers, and I'm sure she would like a slightly larger gap moving forward into deadlift, if possible, particularly after missing that final squat.
Yep.
And another miss for Pau.
Told you that slide on the bench is costly. She runs out of steam so quickly. So 4 for 6 so far. Not a perfect day, but still in the lead. Still looking strong.
Yeah, I mean, look, it hasn't by any means knocked her out of contention. It just means the pressure is on and she can't really afford to make any more mistakes.
And mentally, that changes a lot of things. 115 for Katie Soudanis, Netherlands. And when you see your opponent missing right in front of you and you're next up, that's extra motivation.
Absolutely. As we said before, should she make this, she moves forwards into deadlift on prognosis just 2.5 kilos behind, and on subtotal 10 kilos ahead.
For a new PB at that body weight, 115 for Katie Sue.
No, but again, lands her 5 kilos behind, so a similar gap there would have been if they both made it.
Yeah, so both Sylvain and Katie Sue are 4 for 6 so far. These ladies are pushing each other. Now to Caitlin Baxter, who's forecasted 4th at the moment, but could lose out on 7.5 if she misses 115 again. She's right now in bench press silver. That would guarantee her bench press gold before we move straight into the 74s.
Oh, it looks a lot better.
Wow. She pulls off her magic trick. 3 white lights, match personal best, and bench press gold.
What a turnaround from Baxter there. Look at that.
I don't know how, but it happened.
And that shows when an athlete has confidence in themselves and their abilities, what can happen.
So the bench press podium is only 2 for 3s, but not in the same order. Bench press bronze for France, Sylvain Pal in 100. Bench press silver for the Netherlands, Katie Soudanis with 112.5. And bench press gold is 115 for Caitlin Baxter in GB.
We move immediately into the bench press for the 74 kilo men. Wide range here from 115 all the way up until 170. Kicking us off. Out last for deadlift, out first for bench. A story that we hear over and over, a story as old as time. Darren Maloney, 115.
Three white lights, good lifts.
It looks like they changed that opener around as well, so perhaps warm-ups felt a little tricky or particularly good.
Let's just save some energy for deadlifts. He needs confidence. He needs all 3 attempts to be in the correct headspace before pulling 400 kilos, you know?
The bar is loaded for Cyprus.
Christos Konstantinou from Cyprus. 150 kilos on the bar, 10 kilos below his personal best. Walked away with squat gold with 277.5. Currently standing very close on prognosis behind Gamori. Al Lankawai hot on his tail. And 2-1, a good lift. He gets a yellow from the center referee. It looks like for his heels coming up. I can't quite see. There we go. Yeah, and it does look like he was heels on the floor fully there, but it does not look like the jury are paying too much attention to that.
They seem to think that the contact was sufficient. And the next lifter is yet to come out.
Yeah, we've got the time running down for Brandon Patterson from Ireland, 1:55, and he's only got 35 seconds now to get that start command, and it's a little concerning. 30 seconds is a bit of a push to get a setup and a start command anyway, let alone not being seen on the platform.
Hopefully it's a question of mistimed warm-ups and not a question of injuries.
Yeah, that's my hope as well. And
Alright.
it looks like an Irish coach has just poked his head out. But
Yeah, I've seen a green shirt, that's for sure.
maybe it's a case of there was a mistiming and they just needed that little bit of extra time to...
Because the TC is walking up to the jury. It looks like she has something to tell the jury.
I think that's just... I don't think that's to do with the lifter. But hopefully we get some more information on that moving forward. But until we know more on the matter... Managed to get a white somehow, though. That's pretty
Well,
impressive.
Fair play.
Igor Paunovic from Serbia, 1:57.5. Lovely clean opener there from Paunovic. And a good lift, 3 white lights. And that's a perfect example of, he got the start command with 20 seconds left to go. So if a lifter comes out with 30 seconds left to go, even that's going to be a bit of a tight squeeze.
160 kilos. The bar is loaded for spin.
Pelayo Roses Iglesias from Spain. Coming out for an open of 160 kilos.
Oh, very explosive off the chest for Pelayo. 3 white lights. A good start to his bench press event.
Loaded for Giacomo Ivori from Italy.
Giacomo De Mori from Italy, 160 kilos for his opening attempt.
Looking good on the day, fresh off a new personal best in the squad and a silver medal at 275. A super close forecast between him, Constantinou and Alankawi.
Stop. Press. Right.
And that is a good lift, 3 white lights. Happy to see very few dramas, bar still not knowing what happened to Patterson, but some good opening attempts outside of that.
Let's go, let's go.
Laszlo Potter now from Hungary, 160 kilos.
Stop.
Took a second there to get the start command, but once he did, very quick from there. 3 white lights, a good lift.
And time for Sam Jewell from Great Britain. Opening about 167.5 kilos. The bar is loaded for Great Britain and Sam Jewell.
Our penultimate opening attempt, Sam Dew from Great Britain, 167.5 kilos.
He's going to need at least one bench and one deadlift to secure his new World Masters 1 record in the squat event. European. Very close. 5 kilos off the world record.
Very, very close. Just a stone's throw away from a podium position as it stands. See how bench goes for him. Snappy.
I mean, I don't know where it's going, but I know that's a solid start. 3 white lights.
The heaviest opener in this group is by Lankawi from Switzerland. 170 kilos, the bar is loaded.
And our final opening attempt at our Lankawai from Switzerland, 170 kilos.
He's nominated with 177.5 in the bench press event, but I know he's benched 180 and in the 180s and up multiple times during prep. White lights, solid start to his day, and he switched from sinking to soft touching too. So very impressive opener.
And that does conclude our opening attempts. All bar Patterson with a bench in on the board, hoping to get some answers in regards to that very shortly, but we'll see how proceedings continue as we head in now to the second attempts of these 74s. Darren Maloney from Ireland coming out for 120 kilos, 5 off his best.
And so far, 2 of the 3 medals still belong to the B group. Tough second attempt for Dine. Very aggressive setup and scapular depression. Manages to be forceful under the bar and lock out, but anything added to that bar is going to be super difficult.
And I can see his teammate in the wings now, in the holding area, so it seems like he is coming out for what would have been his opening attempt. So it's good to see that it wasn't a case of injury. Here comes Brandon Patterson from Ireland, 155.
I mean, he seems to be very amped up and needing a lot of extra motivation, so maybe something happened and he's risking it for one attempt. We're unsure. Eyes glued to the platform. Let's see what happens with 155.
Yeah, it'd certainly be interesting, although, you know, they have until 3 minutes before the first opener to change the opening attempt. So if that was the case, you'd imagine they would have changed it. Regardless, if I can't get answers before, I'll get it before deadlifts.
Very careful in the way
No,
he collapses
okay.
at the bottom. Something clearly happened.
Yeah, I think. And that is unfortunate. He throws his hands up and I think he says that's game.
Yeah, he was willing to risk it for the biscuit, but I don't think he's going to be able to manage an attempt in the bench press.
Yeah, you can see here the left shoulder, you know, pec area kind of collapses at the bottom position and he holds position afterwards. So you've got to think, like you said, something must have happened, and it must have happened pretty late on.
Yeah, I mean, he was supposed to open in the middle of the pack, so maybe his last warm-up was maybe 1 minute prior the flight to start, and it happened there.
Yeah.
But in that case, physical integrity is more important than trying to manage an attempt.
Christos Konstantinou from Cyprus, 157.5.
just 3 white lights for the gold medalist of the squad event. Still the favorite of the day, but very much pushed by both Italy and Switzerland. A bit of GB too. Top 4 super stacked.
Igor Paunovic from Serbia, 165 kilos. Just 3 kilos below his personal best. Bit of a slow second, but he gets it. 3 white lights. Yeah, and he looks a little uncomfortable coming off as well.
Yeah, he's limping up the platform. What's cramping? Is it the calf? Is it the back?
I was about to say, it most likely is going to be a cramping issue, especially if he had a sizable weight cut coming into it. He weighed in at 73 kilos actually, so kind of light.
And it's pretty hot in the warm-up area, so
It is, yeah.
could be a cramp.
Pelero Cés Iglesias, 170, a 10 kilo jump for a 2.5 kilo personal best. Pretty sizable jump here on bench press.
Yeah, a 10 kg jump straight into personal best territory.
See how that pays off for him. Now, he's not the only athlete in this flight to take that 10 kilo jump, but like you said, heading straight for a personal best.
Yeah, that's my point. If you're going to match your PB or be right below, I can understand, but straight to PB, interesting.
Must have made some good progress. Let's see how that pans out.
Hey, looks like a proper second.
Yeah, completely justifiable. I can see them maybe going for a 5, maybe a 2.5 if they're looking to be conservative there.
He also touches his back. Another lifter that seems to be cramping up.
This lighter weight class, I think, you do see it quite frequently, especially on bench now. The body's got started moving.
But usually it's not something that hinders your deadlift or nothing.
Giacomo Jamori, 170, another one of the lifters going for a 10 kilo jump. However, this is 5 kilos below his personal best. I think that's what you wanted to see there.
I mean, I want to see lifters succeed. That Spanish bench was fine to me. Easy weight, 3 white lights.
Next out, the last Porta from Hungary.
Can for sure see another 5, but Italians have been aggressive, so why not 7.5?
Barcelona.
Laszlo Potter, Hungary, 172.5 kilos, a 12.5 kilo jump for Laszlo here. And this lands him just 2.5 below his personal best, so the biggest jump of the flight.
Yep, that is interesting. And that's even more interesting, judging by how easy it was. 3 white lights.
2 lifters to go around to Alexis Sam, June from Great Britain, and once again he is
Not much to add. I mean, that was proper technique. No troubles in terms of standards. Everything is on point.
Yeah,
in those
very,
room.
very little resistance.
Barcelona for Sam from Great Britain, 175 kilos.
And we saw it twice in his squat and already in his bench. If he gets a second and third, we'll see it twice here. Going for a European M1 record here with 175. It'll also move him into bench press silver for the time being, heading into the 3rd round. 2.5 kilos below his personal best. 7.5 kilo jump. The M1 world record at 179.
Let's see it. Bit wobbly at the bottom, but no troubles on the way up.
Waiting for that centre referee, and it is a new European record there for Sam Ju, and moves into the silver position on bench press for the time being.
Dare I say, we are watching a master at work.
You can say it. I won't laugh, but you can say it. Adela Alankawai from Switzerland, 180, a 10-kilo jump here to match his personal best. Putting himself in a very strong position in that overall fight.
Yeah, some much needed kilos. That's still solid. 3 white lights. But he has a long way to go, long range of motion. In that case, what do you do? Do you still bet on yourself and look 185? Or do you think of playing conservative and going to 2.5?
The thing is, there is a risk here because he is so close in that podium fight. He's not going to want to make any unnecessary risk, but there has to be an element of it. You know, they need to get as many kilos as they can. And so you're always going to walk that line of, is it too much, is enough? And that's really what the coaches are there for, is to help with that gameplay.
The thing is rather he bets on his bench or on his deadlifts for him, because he said he's going to pull for the win.
Well, he's quite unconventional in the fact that he is last out for bench and for deadlift.
Yes.
So he can bet on both by the looks of it. We head into the third and final round now, and Darren Maloney from Ireland taking a 2.5 kilo jump for his third and final attempt. 1, 2, 2.5. And yeah, I think he just got everything he could have out of that second.
And by now we also know that the gold medalist of the bench press event is a member of the B group from Belgium, Magrat.
Yes, absolutely. And we did say he was in for a shot, and he missed out on that junior world record, and he was very upset about it, but still walks away with the bench press gold overall.
Yeah, not too shabby.
And so Brandon Patterson from Ireland, it looked like he had a pec issue, and it does look like he's going to try for it again. And
I was not expecting that.
no, he looks like he's asking for a handout and giving some instructions here, giving himself every opportunity. And if he manages to come back from that, what an incredible turnaround that would be. He needs this to post a total and stay in the competition. A lot rides on this.
I mean, they judged it was worth the risk. We have some fantastic spotters, so I can understand. But surely they're not going to be attempting the same thing. They're going to switch things around, a different grip, different setup.
And the thing is, I think he knows instantly off the chest if he can push, so I think he'll fail quickly if that's the case. But he wants to give it his best go. He's come all this way.
Fingers crossed.
No, and unfortunately it's not there. Like I said, he failed quickly to avoid any further injury, but he comes out and gives it a valiant effort, and you have to respect him for that.
Yeah, so heartbreaking for him. Of course, disappointed. Best of luck in a speedy recovery. Hopefully he can deadlift, and it's not, because deadlift really pulls that area. And if it hurts in the shoulder or scapula area, it could be difficult to deadlift too.
Christos Constantinou from Cyprus, 160 kilos, going for a 2.5 kilo personal best. Like we said, in that fight for podium, you have to walk the line of what is realistic and how far you can push. And it looks like they are just trying to do their best to pick up kilos. This would be a match personal best should he make it. And it keeps him 5 kilos behind Ao Lankawai should they both make this final attempt. No, and I think it was less tactical and more the only place they could go. And it pushes him a little further back, and allowing Sam Ju to get a little bit closer.
now Cyprus, and now it's time for Igor Pavlovic, Serbia. Bars loaded.
Igor Pavlovic from Serbia, 167.5 kilos, 2.5 kilo jump, just half a kilo below his personal best.
Showing some love to the spotters. We love to see that.
172.5 kilos for a personal best.
And so far they've been great to us. Very fast, very predictable. Not a single misload.
Leo Rosas Iglesias from Spain taking a 2.5 kilo jump, also here 172.5, very personal best. He jumped to a PB from his first to his second, and now taking a slightly smaller jump.
Lockout, a bit of down up.
Yeah, unfortunately, just a little too heavy.
We have 4 lifters left.
He seems a bit down by that fail. I mean, you have to keep your end in the game. 3 more attempts to make a difference.
Yeah, and he still walks away with that personal best on his second. Giacomo Tamori from Italy, 177.5 kilos, 7.5 kilo jump, and this moves him into bench press bronze for the time being, with due to follow. If he gets this, that and his opening deadlift put him 5 kilos behind what he was nominated with on his total. Wow, and he is looking so strong today.
Wow. 3 white lights, establishing himself as a clear contender for that first position overall in the 74s.
The bar is loaded.
Sam Duna, 180 kilos for a world M1 record, collected the European on his second, but looking for those all-important extra 5 kilos here in the fight for podium overall. It's just too much today, unfortunately.
2 lifters left. We have Laszlo from Hungary and Adel from Switzerland. Next up is
Still walks away with the 175 and the European record in the M1 category.
Yeah, so far a European record in the Masters 1 in every event. Hopefully the same thing in the deadlift.
180 kilos for Laszlo Potter from Hungary to move himself into bench silver from 5th. Knocking down Al Lankawi, who is to follow. Oh, it is a big fight, and it just seems like he's glued just before the lockout. So close.
This one's gonna hurt.
Unfortunately, no lead for Hungary, and we have one lead left to witness. It's Switzerland,
So all medals are already decided,
5 kilos.
but one more attempt to go, Emilia.
Yes, absolutely. And like you said, the gold medal going to Margaret from Belgium from the B group. Bronze is with Jamori from Italy from the A group. And the silver is sat with Adel Al-Lankawi from Switzerland, but he's looking for 5 extra kilos as he chases down Jamori for the overall title and tries to fend off of Constantinu.
And the energy in the room when Adel comes out, is it Malta or is it Lausanne? Are we in Switzerland? What's happening? He has a long way to go, a very long way to go with 185. He's done it in training, he needs to do it on the platform.
And a very well executed third from Al-Lankawi. 3 white lights, a good lift, and he puts the pressure onto Team Italy to keep making lifts because he is right in there behind them heading into deadlifts.
He's putting the pressure on, that is for sure.
He came into this nominated in 4th, and he is really putting the pressure in for the European title. As we head into a 10-minute break, our bench bronze medalist Jamori from Italy, 177.5. Silver medalist Al-Lankawi from Switzerland, 185. And our gold medalist from the B group, Margaret from Belgium, with 190 kilos. We will join you back in 10 minutes time for the conclusion of the 57 and 74s. Catch you there.
Ladies and gentlemen, glue your eyes to the screen. Your favorite show is on. It is time for deadlifts for both the 57s and the 74s. Some great deadlift action coming to you. Openers ranging from 160 to 195. Sovan Pal, Adejeko Adetayo and Kaylee Sudanis battling it out for the title of European champion in the 57s. First lifter out would be Caitlin Baxter, Great Britain, 160. Forecasted fourth, but super close, neck and neck with Aguia Padilla from Spain.
Yeah, and had a really good comeback there after her second bench, not quite being able to get that, and then pulling it together on her third for bench press gold. Similar story, didn't get her second, it got overturned on squats, and then she went up and got it on her third. So really a resilient day for Baxter.
Slow and steady, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, she came off saying to her coach that felt good, so.
Yeah, the thing is, it's slow, but the speed is consistent. Now on to Katja Babic, Slovenia, 167.5. Struggle with elbow depth, but still managed 87.5 in the bench press. Squatted 155. She's looking pretty good on the day. Wow, very comfortable first pull. That's going to be 3 white lights for sure. She needs to improve her deadlift by 20 kilos if she wants a PB total.
From Netherlands, 180 kilos for her opener. The bar is loaded.
Now bar is loaded for Kaylee Sue. That is the Netherlands 1-8 PB deadlift of 210. How is she looking? We know that her back is not feeling the best. Still pretty comfortable with 180. She might pleasantly surprise herself today with her deadlift.
Yeah, it's a very comfortable opener there for Katie Sue.
Bar is loaded.
Very close behind Pal as it stands.
Oh yeah, she's still very much up there. And I'm pretty sure that she's looking in front of her, looking at Pal rather than looking at Itayo. She's a fierce competitor. Now Ana Maria Guia Padilla, Spain at 180. Improved her squat by 10, failed to improve her bench. How's that deadlift looking? It's looking snappy.
And a good lift, 3 white lights.
That is Adetayo from Great Britain, 190 kilos. Bar is loaded.
Now onto one of our 4 deadlift machines of this fight of 57s. Adejoke Adetayo, 190.
Yeah, personal best for 210 kilos. Some monster deadlifts in this flight. I think we see at least 4, maybe 5 or 6 above that 200 kilo mark in this A flight.
Unbelievable. And just like her squat opener, it looks like a warm-up. Super easy, super comfortable. 3 white lights.
She always looks so calm and happy coming off the platform. You know, she's super comfortable there.
She knows that this is where she belongs. Alessandra Sacchi, 192.5 for the Italian. PB deadlift, 217.5. Is she the favorite for deadlift gold? Probably.
It's very comfortable. Does not move how you'd expect a 57 kilo lifter to move 192.5.
No.
Now it's time for Sato Pylväs from Finland. The bar is loaded.
Same opening attempt for Sato Pylväs, Finland. But this one's much closer to her PB of 200. Either she's being super aggressive or some great progress happened in the gym. That'd be surprising after 13 years of competing, but it happens.
Yeah, a variable can be changed up and a lot can happen.
I'm thinking about Plunn Dekker, so just change her style of deadlifting. Now she's been making stellar progress on deadlift. Maybe that's what's happening here. Let's get that bar moving.
Very patient off the ground and certainly not how I'd expect an opener to move, but
I mean,
very strong.
In true Jacob fashion. Super slow off the ground, but when it moves, and that's going to be 3 white lights.
And as long as she can continue with that patience and like you said, get it moving, she will be in a fine position, but that's the question mark there.
Yeah, with the floor being the sticking point, you can go from RP7 to the bar not moving and being completely glued to the ground. Final opener for the women in the lead. Sauvade Pal for France, 195. Three white lights, she means business, no smiles, and she walks off the platform. The nominated first reigning champion stands her ground at the end of the first round of deadlifts. So as of right now, Pal in the lead, Dan is second, Adetayo third. Just what we expected at the end of the first round. But now the show is on.
Absolutely, all total secured. The fight begins, and looks like some big deadlifts already in the second round, Alex.
Yep, second attempts ranging from 167.5 to 207.5.
The bar is loaded.
First one out, Caitlin Baxter, Great Britain, 167.5, jump of 7.5.
Looking to collect some team points for Team GB here.
Super important. They really do have everything to play for. Probably looking at second best team, even maybe first if something happens to the French.
I think that looks like a good lift.
Waiting on the right side ref. Do we have a laser remote? No, we don't.
3 white lights, hey, good lift. And I think it's worth not overlooking that potentially actually the winning team on the women's side could be the Netherlands.
That's your bet, I guess.
Listen, I'm throwing the name in there. I'm saying France, GB and the Netherlands are all going to be fighting it out.
Maybe Spain not to be overlooked too. They have a bunch of women's in the top 5 everywhere. Katja Babic, Slovenia, 177.5.
Lovely, smooth second attempt for Babic.
3 white lights, a good lift. But you're right for reminding me of Team Netherlands, because I forgot about the fact that Marie-José Wandal was here. Plunn, Kylie and Betty were already a lot. If you add Marie-José to the mix,
Yeah,
that's a strong team.
that's what I'm saying. Definitely don't overlook them.
Yeah, so GB and France have a lot of work, a lot to eat on their plate. And now talking about the Netherlands, Katie Sudan is back on the platform. Jump of 10, 190, she grips it. Not yet a grind, I think there's room. And she's amped up, now we recognize her. That's the energy we were looking for. She's in the lead with 482.5. Ana Maria Guilla Padilla, Spain at 192.5, jump of 12.5, 2.5 kg PB attempt. This is for provisional 4th position, both in total and in the deadlift event. That's BB, 3 white lights, and there's room for more.
Up is Santo Filbas from Finland. 200 kilos. Match personal best.
Santo Pilvas, Finland, from 192.5 to 200 kilos. This one's to match her PB. I think the coaches have asked to roll the bar backwards. Lifters have their preferences in terms of where they want to lift on the platform. Some believe that it's almost a declined deadlift when you're in the middle of the platform. Some believe that backwards there's too much chalk, baby powder. Lift wherever you want.
And she manages to break the floor. That is some impeccable patience she has from that bottom position. 3 white lights, a good lift. And I was going to say after opener, the only way it will continue moving is if it moves the same as her opener. And it really did. Look at how long she pulls before it moves.
Yeah, the thing is, it's looking like more weight, more patience. Adejoke Adetayo, Great Britain, 202.5. Jump of 12.5 to go from 6th to provisional gold in the deadlift event, and to further extend her 3rd position, just to almost guarantee herself a podium finish, and then trying to pull ahead for another position. I like the game plan.
Opener looked strong. Wow, and that was about the same as a lot of the openers we saw.
I mean, except in the bench press, we're yet to see her struggle, really.
And other than Pau, they really do have a strong advantage in being able to pull last out of the top 3 contenders.
Yeah, the thing is, Pal has lot number advantage, but I think her top end might be slightly lower than Adetayo.
Yeah, and I think Adetayo is going to put on a number. Hopefully that means they can pull last if they need to. Pal hasn't had the best day so far, but she's still up and amongst it.
Yeah, 202.5 as her 2nd attempt. PB in competition of 212.5. And with that one, she retakes the lead. 3 white lights, 485 total. When Danis stands strong at 482.5, but announces 492.5 with a final deadlift. Of course, that final deadlift is subject to change. You can change it twice, and until the chief ref says that the bar is loaded for you. One final 2nd attempt, Alessandra Sacchi, Italy, 207.5. That's a big jump, 15 kilos. But we mentioned that if we had to pick and choose a lifter to be the favorite for deadlift gold, it would have been Alessandra Sacchi.
I think how this moves will be extremely telling. Like you said, her personal best 10 kilos above this.
Yeah. To go from 6th to provisional, 1st position in the deadlift event, 4th position in the class over Aguia Padilla.
Very, very strong. And a good lift. 3 white lights. She'll end up just behind Baxter, actually, because Aguia Padilla Zaghi weighed in at 57 kilos on the dot, so won't have that body weight advantage.
So as it stands, it looks like a deadlift battle and final placings battle. We've got Pal leading in the class, Dan is 2nd, Adetayo 3rd, Sacchi in the hunt but a bit behind. So It's stacked between 4th and 6th and between 1st and 3rd. Who's gonna pull for what? It begs the question.
I would be surprised as well if GB didn't up Adeteo's deadlift so they can see what they need to put on and if any mistakes are made, but we'll see how that pans out as we now head into the 3rd round.
3rd round starting with Kate Baxter, Great Britain 172.5, jump of 5 to match her PB for provisional 4th position in the class.
What a strong finish to the day for Baxter. 2-1, a good lift.
Now she's gonna have to wait and see. She was nominated 5th. As of right now, she's in 4th position.
185 kilos for the last lift.
Next up, Katja Babic, Slovenia, 185. PB attempt of 2.5 with a jump of 7.5. That won't change her deadlift position. She'll stay in 8th, but she'll climb up a position in the class from 10th to 9th.
Finish weight.
A PB deadlift after 11 years of competing.
Very strong looking deadlift.
3 white lights. She gets her personal best. The cherry on top of her performance today. Solid day.
6 meters left. 3 more attempts by changes to the openers for the next room. We're putting 195 kilos on for Ana Maria.
Next up, from Team Spain, Ana Maria Guillapadilla. Surprisingly, only jumping 2.5. Do we recognize that there's a possible grip issue with Ana Maria?
Perhaps just doing what she can to put herself, as she's the lightest in that 4th overall position.
Yeah, just a 4th, another deadlift out of our opponents to go from 6th to 4th, just shy of the podium in terms of position, but a bit below in terms of total. But still, she was nominated 7th. She's made some stellar improvements. Let's see it in action.
Yeah, and it looks like they were just trying to secure that overall position.
Well done, well done. No need to overdo it. As of right now, she's in 4th position.
5 meters is open for each 2 more attempts by changes. Next is Kelly Sue Davis from Netherlands.
Next up, a title contender, Kaylee Soudanis, the Netherlands. She squatted 180, went 2 for 3, benched 112.5, went 2 for 3. Can she go 3 for 3 in the deadlift event in the quest for the title? It's either she pulls 200 or she's out of the race. Kaylee Sue in the 57 is the new sensation, but she can't lock it out. 10 was a big ask, but she knew that Savannah had more in the tank. So now, for the title, it's either Adeteo or Pat.
Yeah, and it gives Adeteo the opportunity to move up in position.
Yeah, because no one's going to shoot for Adeteo.
And I've got to say, I'm surprised that I still haven't seen a move, unless they know absolutely Adeteo's top end is 212.5. I would have expected them to let France pull first.
But maybe they want to shoot for 2nd, who knows?
Yeah, absolutely, but
The bar is loaded for Finland.
Now the bar is loaded for Finland. 207.5 for Satu Pilves. That would be a massive personal best of 7.5 to go from 5th to provisional 1st position in the deadlift event. Not yet a guaranteed medal though.
let's see if she's got the patience for one more. There it is, it gets going, but the knees lock out a little too early. And just while we're seeing the replay of that missed lift, what Adateo going first does do, if that is what their plan is, and it looks like it is it forces Pal to have to pull 212.5, because if they get that, she can't drop. You know, in an ideal world, they'd want to just beat it, I imagine. But
I think they know that in the past, Savannah's had struggled with her grip over 210. So maybe they want to force another pull. Oh, an attempt change just came in.
And it's from France, who have dropped, and I think they knew that was the game plan.
I love that from
Were they listening to the live stream?
Probably not. Probably not. I don't think so.
No.
Sylvan Pal, if they count on me for strategy, what are they doing?
That's why we sit here. I'll keep you here in the commentary seat for the time being.
So it's going to be a jump of 7.5 for Sylvan Pal, forcing a big pull out of Adateo. 210 is something she's done before. I would think that seals the deal, but with the pulling power of Adateo, it's ensure. First off, secure that one.
Oh. And she looks like she can hold on to it.
Oh, look at the fire in her eyes.
And it means that Adateo would have to pull 220 in order to pull for the win.
You know what? I think there's a world in which he does.
Is it this world?
It might. I think she might be looking at deadlift gold now.
Yeah, she's not secured silver, so it's probably likely that they want to do that unless they are so confident in that deadlift. But bronze is fully secured. She's going to come out for the number on the bar.
So that is provisional deadlift gold and guaranteed second position in the class. Ain't no way she's not going to get this. Her second pull at 202.5 was super comfortable.
It is a personal best, and she's calm and steady for it. So let's hope you're right in that to end the day in the silver overall.
Look at her going.
And maybe 220, you know.
It might have been in the cards, I'm going to be honest. What a final deadlift. 3 white lights. Vice champion, 487.5. Personal best. Wow, just a solid performance.
And the replay was going on, but she did a wonderful, joyful skip off of the platform there, and, you know, well deserved.
We've had a phenomenal battle for the podium. Pal, Adateo and Dan is putting on the show, and we have one final pull, the pull for deadlift gold. Alessandra Saghi, Italy, 215, something she's already done in the past, to go from third to first in the deadlift event, and to surpass Aguia Padilla to reach that 4th position in the class. What a finish from our 57s. Deadlift gold in her hands as she pulls.
What a strong finish to the day for Alessandra Zaghi.
To the one, change to a 3 white light pull. That is 4th position and deadlift gold for Team Italy. A strong finish for almost all of our ladies. What a fantastic weight class to watch. A quick recap of the deadlift standings. Collecting deadlift bronze, Sylvain Pal from France, 210 with 212.5. Adejoke Adateo from Great Britain gets silver, and deadlift gold goes to Italy, Alessandra Saghi with 215. Recap of the whole class. We've got bronze medalist Kaylee Sue Davis, vice champion Adejoke Adateo, and your new European champion, which is not new because she was the reigning champion, Sylvain Pal from France with 492.5.
And we immediately go into the conclusion for the 74 kilo category. A wide spread of deadlift openers here. It looks like Maloney has dropped down from 290 to 285, still an extremely sizable opening attempt. We open it up here with Brandon Patterson, who unfortunately did not post a bench. It seems he was having nerve issues and couldn't press off his chest. coming out here for deadlifts anyway, 237.5. Doesn't seem to affect him too deeply on the deadlift, however. 2 thumbs up, 3 white lights, a good lift.
240 kilos. Bars loaded.
Poderosas Iglesias from Spain, 240 kilos on the bar. Very speedy opener for the Spanish lifter, a good lift.
Next up is Sam New from Great Britain, opening 247.5 kilos. The bar is loaded for Sam.
Great Britain's Sam Dew out next, and he's not a million miles off that podium spot. 10 kilos behind Constantinu, who won't want to make any mistakes when pushing for silver, because Sam Dew is right up behind him. 247.5 for his opening attempt, 270 as his deadlift PB.
He's collected 2 European Masters 1 record, but the one in the deadlifts is going to be a bit far, 307.5.
And such a speedy opener, and a little bit of a wobble at the top, but not enough to knock him off balance and pick up any blues.
Yeah, I remember I was not buying that opener. I thought he was going to bump it up, but now I'm just expecting a big jump. That was super fast.
250 kilos for his opener, bars loaded.
Igor Paunovic from Serbia, 250 kilos. Very strong, big exaggerated lockout there, not letting the referees give him any reds.
From Hungary.
Only one command in deadlift, and that is down.
Yeah, you really have the whole minute to get the bar moving.
You do see some athletes wait right to the very last few seconds to come out and start pulling.
Yeah, that's nerve-wracking for us.
Laszlo Potter, Hungary, 250 kilos on the bar.
Ball opener, 3 white lights.
And now it's time for Giacomo Imori from Italy.
Giacomo Imori from Italy, currently leading the pack, trying to hold on to that first overall. 265 kilos for his opening attempt to secure his total and start trying to build as big of a lead as he can.
bit wobbly at the top.
Oh, and unfortunately, yeah, it's a no lift, which now that really puts a spanner in the work.
Does the bar go down, or is it only his shoulders?
Coach
Because
goes to the jury, and yet,
I think the bar does dip a bit.
yeah, no, the jury are not shifting whatsoever, and it probably works in their favour to have to go up. It was a speed wobble, and here you'd have to say the risk is justified, maybe somewhere between their first and second planned attempt.
The thing is, Jimori and Constantinou, they don't have the advantage over Aloncao in terms of pulling power, so they're going to be pulling before. They have to improve their mark as much as possible.
Christos Constantinou now from Cyprus, 270 kilos. Coming out straight after Jamori, seeing him miss that opener.
Almost a strongman start to his conventional, but he's a strong man after all. 3 white lights.
And our next lifter is Darren Maloney from Ireland. 285 kilos, this is the second best opener.
Constantinou's best deadlift is 291.5. He's gonna need to be in the 290s if he wants to retain that first position.
Our penultimate opening attempt now dropped 5 kilos, but like I said, still a very big opener for Darren Maloney from Ireland. 285 kilos, personal best of 302.5. Certainly in the running for a deadlift medal, potentially even deadlift gold, if Al Lankawi is pushing for otherwise.
Shaky, but not shaky enough to receive double blues. That's still one blue from the left-hand side ref. In this case, I don't think the bar dips, so I can understand the whites.
Adel Al-Lankawi from Switzerland for our final opening attempt of the 74s. 290 kilos with a huge personal best of 320. Wow, and that is the most comfortable opener we have seen yet.
Yeah, with that first pull, it surely confirms that he is in contention for the title.
Absolutely, and especially with Jamori missing, perhaps feeling a little shaken by that. He's seen weakness in his opponent, and he is going to capitalize on it where he can.
From nominated fourth, outside the podium, to being on top of the leaderboard in the deadlift event, forecasted second neck and neck with Jimori and Constantinou.
Yes, and Bar Jamori getting a deadlift in on the board by the look of his second attempt. They've chosen to go up not to in between their first and second, but to their planned second, I would imagine. So
That's the move.
we'll have to see. They have to make big risks for big rewards here. Brandon Patson from Ireland, 247.5.
It's slower than we could have expected from him, but with him being out of the race after bench, it is difficult to keep your head in the game, to be 100%. So it's still pretty cool that he's able to do that.
Sam Dew from Great Britain, 262.5 kilos, and looking to do what he can to press as close to those podium finishes as possible. Personal best of 270.
Is that a wobble at the top?
I'm a little worried about it.
Yeah, one blue for a wobbly lockout, one red for lack of lockout as a whole.
Coach goes to the jury. Let's have a look at that again in the replay.
So for lack of lockout as of right now, it's either the hips or the knees are not extended and the shoulders are in front of the imaginary vertical projection of the bar. I can see that.
Yeah, and the jury send the coach away. They say it was for downwards movement was the reason they were keeping it as a no lift. Powerlifting Iglesias 265, and of course that's worrying if Dew was looking to push the top three. It's a 25 kilo jump for the Spanish lifter to match his personal best, similar to his bench, a big jump to his second around that PB level. His opener was quick.
Is it worth the risk?
If this moves well, he's sneaking closer and closer to just off the podium. For the time being, that puts him into 4th overall. And it looked good.
Yeah, 4th with Jimori yet to have an attempt.
265 kilos. Bar shoulder.
Igor Paunovic from Serbia, 265, a 15 kilo jump.
Not the tidiest start to his deadlift, but when it goes up, it's speedy. 3 white lights.
Laszlo Potter from Hungary, 270 kilos, a 20 kilo jump to match his personal best. This will take him to 4th overall for the time being, with Rosas Iglesias looking to hold on to that position if possible.
Oh, that's one tough lockout. And the grip gives up on the bar. Too much friction against the thighs. But I don't think that was the best starting position also.
It's tough. You know, it was a pretty big jump to round that PB area. Yeah, and just loses grip at the top there. Quite a few misses again already in this deadlift session. And speaking of which, arguably one of the more important misses is his opening attempt was missed here for Giacomo Jimori from Italy. He's chosen to take the risk to go up. It wasn't a strength issue, so you know this is definitely where you could argue the case where it's not a strength issue and he is in contention for the European title. Comes out now for 282.5. However, saying that this is his current personal best, so you know the risk is high, but the payout will be higher if it goes well. So let's see if he can pull himself back into the game as it heats up heading into the 3rd round.
Yeah, it's a very risky move, but it was the least worrying type of fail, I would say. Control that lockout.
And it looks a lot better. Big risk, bigger reward. He's back in the game and more importantly, back in the fight. Plenty left in that deadlift too.
Yep, I mean, this is what champions do. They rise to the occasion, they react, they adapt on the day, and 735 is already a new personal best of 12.5 kgs.
3 second attempts remaining before we head into the third and final round of deadlifts. Christos Constantinou from Cyprus, 285. $15-kilo jump here. Has pulled 300 before. Falling slightly behind Jamori and Al-Lankawi. Let's see how this moves for him. Not out the race yet.
Still looking strong.
And it is a good lift. 3 white lights.
I mean, Jamori is 50 kgs in the lead above Constantinou. That's a big ask for Constantinou already. And Jamori looked good for another pull.
Yeah, 15 is a bit of a hill to climb with just 1 lift left to go. I think what Constantinou and Team Cyprus are looking to do is hope that he misses and they can just put on what they need. Darren Maloney from Ireland, 295, a 10-kilo jump. This is about 5 kilos above where he wanted to open, so I think a smart decision in taking what you have in the day to try and fight for that medal. Puts him to deadlift gold for the time being.
So there's going to be 3 white lights, but if Adel Al-Lankawi manages his next attempt, I think deadlift gold is out of the question for him.
It is time for Switzerland's Adel Al-Lankawi. 350 kilos.
Now a big jump here for Switzerland's Adel Al-Lankawi. 25-kilo jump, which seemed more than reasonable based off of how that opener looked. His personal best is 320. 315 on the bar now, and this puts him in a very strong position heading into the third round to fight Jamori for that European title.
Now is not the time to let what's at stake get to you. This is just another deadlift. You've done this before. Just do your deadlift.
And barely slowed down. It spells danger for Jamori and Team Italy. It is a good lift and it will come down to that final pull the exact way we want to see it happen.
Do you feel the same level of confidence out of him as he walks off the platform? I'm not sure if this is extra focus or a bit of doubt coming in.
I think there's definitely a spout the pressure that is put on these lifters when they know it's a head-to-head battle, and I think he knows that at this point he must only look forward.
Yeah, I think he might have dreamt about it, but now he realizes that he has a strong shot at it.
And we can see how close it is here as it currently stands with Al-Lankawi just 2.5 kilos above Jamori. Both look like they have plenty more to give as we head now into the third and final round. 255 for Brandon Patterson from Ireland.
Finish maker. You got this, Brandon?
Not quite there for Patterson.
Next lifter is Pelayo Rojas Iglesias from Spain. 270 kilos for a new personal best.
the bar will be brushed down between each final attempt. Bar is loaded to 270 for Powerlifting Iglesias. Similar story, like we said, to his bench, where he saw a big increase from 1 to 2, and from his second and third to attempt much smaller to 270 here for a new personal best.
White lights. What an effort. So that's 5th position in the deadlift event and provisional 4th position in the class.
270 kilos. And weight is now reattempting. Bar is loaded. Let's go last load. Come on.
Laszlo Potter reattempting 270 here. He's missing it at the top of his lockout and grip.
I think starting position was the issue. If you can correct that, it looks strong enough for it.
Pretty segmented, and the question is, the bar dip there at the middle portion.
Yep, I think it did dip. Double blues, 1 white though, so a slight chance. It's the final attempt. Maybe send the coach to the jury. But I think it's pretty clear to see on the replay, unfortunately.
Igor Pavlovic from Serbia taking a 10 kilo jump here for a new personal best of 275 kilos should he make this.
Bar is loaded for Igor.
I don't like lifters changing their setup, changing their routine before a 3rd attempt. Come on, prove me wrong, make it happen. Shaky stuff, wobbly stuff, no lift. A bit of overthinking, and it leads to technical issues.
And we have 5 lifters to go.
Yeah, you just see his shoulders bring the bar forward there at the end. Does well to relock it out, but he knew as soon as the bar went down, you can see the frustration.
Yeah, that's a lot of baby powder to brush off now. If we see a fellow on grip do, that's his fault.
We've already seen both attempt changes come in for Team Italy, for Giacomo Jamori. Sam Dew now looking to pull into the bronze medal overall for the time being with 275. This would be an all-time best for Dew should he make this by 5 kilos. Oh, and he breaks the floor, but can he lock it out?
Ah, the grip, I told you. I told you. No, that's heartbreaking. So only 1 for 3 in the deadlift event to do.
Yeah, and really, really unfortunate. The risk was worth it. He now misses out on 4th place just on body weight as he weighed in at 74 on the dot,
Yeah, so
matching the total with Rosas Iglesias.
he was nominated 3rd, and he ends up in 5th position.
Provisional deadlift bronze and provisional gold overall.
But who was to know the day that Adel Al-Lankawi was going to have?
Let's go.
Giacomo Jamori dropped his 3rd attempt to 295 here to put him, for the time being, into deadlift bronze, but into gold overall. And then all he can do is sit and wait, see what Al-Lankawi is going to do. already this would be a personal best, pushing that top end in order to do what he can to walk away European champion.
Yeah, it could be the winning pull.
And it is tough, but he's got it moving, and it is just too much today for him, which means he is out of the race for overall. He's sitting in bronze, which won't change, but the fight for gold is still up for grabs. It's looking strong in the hands of Al-Lankawi, but Constantino is now going to do what he can with his final pull to match the current total of Al-Lankawi at a lighter body weight.
The perfect scenario. Christos Constantino needing a 2.5 kg personal best in the deadlift for a provisional gold.
The bar is loaded. Came into this competition nominated first, and now is going to have to fight tooth and nail for that position. As I said, this will put him into deadlift silver for the time being, but more importantly, matching Al-Lankawi's total and into gold overall.
I like the fact they're playing for gold and not for silver. Is it Christos' time to be crowned champion? He needs to do his part. Come on, pick it up!
No, and it is just too heavy, which means already Al-Lankawi is the European champion, regardless of what he does in this final pull. And they can put on what they want. They can take the risks that they feel like they want to.
And you know what? After Chemnitz, Al-Lankawi was almost peer pressure into moving up into the 83s. He stood his ground, stayed in the 74s, and now he's going to be crowned European champion. What a way to trust your gut.
Absolutely. And at the moment, what was a placeholder of 340.5, and it's just changed. I was going to say it would have been a big jump, but you know, he could take the risk if he wanted. Instead, looking to cap off a perfect day. First, however, Darren Maloney from Ireland, 315. A much bigger jump from second to third here, an attempt to move into deadlift gold. He's already secured silver, and I'm sure it was gold they had his eyes on today. So here he goes, having a stab at it. And just on grip again there, loses out, but still walks away with the silver.
And Al-Lankawi won't have to drop his deadlift to play for deadlift gold. He is now free to have a lap of honor on the platform, already being the champion. That must be super pleasant.
Yeah, absolutely. He's had an incredible run today, and your new European champion coming out, like you said, for the lap of honor, for the final pull of the day. No risks here. Just cleaning the bar for that final lift of day 2 of the championships.
And we've seen times and times again now, the second pull have been the deciding pulls in this weight class. But one final pull to close out the day. What a day it's been, Emilia. It's 3:25 for Adel Al-Lankawi.
Absolutely. Adel Al-Lankawi from Switzerland, your new European champion, 325 kilos to finish the day on a deadlift personal best. One last pull of the day. As you said, a victory lap for the new champion.
We'll let you hear the crowd for that one. All the way from Switzerland.
And the deadlift isn't there, but the crown is not taken from him as a result. Still walking away, your 2026 European champion, Al-Lankawi from Switzerland. What a day he's had, Alex.
And the thing is, he didn't know. So when he missed, he said sorry to his friends in the crowd. It didn't know he was champion.
I think he's just found out, and I can hear him celebrating.
So he went back to his coach. His coach did not tell him. He told him 325 is the pool. You need that. So he stayed focused, head in the game.
Man, what a day for him. A quick summary here for the deadlift: 285 in the bronze medal position for Cyprus's Christos Constantinou. In deadlift silver, 295, Darren Maloney from Ireland, and your new European champion and deadlift gold medalist with 315 from Switzerland, Adel Al-Lankawi. And overall in bronze medal position from Cyprus, Christos Constantinou. In silver from Italy, Giacomo Jamori. And as I mentioned before, your new European champion in the 74 kilo class from Switzerland with 737.5, Adel Al-Lankawi. What a day he's had. Ladies and gentlemen, stick around for the medal ceremony, and thank you so much for joining us. We will be starting at 11 a.m. local time tomorrow morning for the 63 and 83 kilo B groups. We'll catch you there.
Our bronze medalist here today is Christos Konstantino from Cyprus with his 720 kilo total. Silver medalist Giacomo Gimori from Italy. And our gold medalist, European champion in the 74s is Adel Al-Lakawi from Switzerland. Congratulations. Please all stand up for the national anthem of Switzerland. Big hand out here, guys. Congratulations. It is now time to walk off the platform following the technical controller as we give you guys one last big round of applause for your participation in the European Championship in Classic Powerlifting here in Malta 2026. Hope to see you again. Being here in Malta is someone else. Well done, Rob. The biggest fan for today.